I'm quite sure I'd never seen anyone take so quickly to a second-hand wand. The voice echoed in my mind as I powered on the brand new Switch 2, a device whispered about in forums and coffee shop debates, now humming quietly in my hands. I hesitated for a breath. The last time I'd tried to bring Hogwarts Legacy into the portable realm, well, let's just say the spell backfired. Choppy frames, frozen doors, a world meant to feel alive, instead trapped in stasis. It haunted me, but something about this moment felt different, like stepping back into a familiar forest where the shadows had shifted. A second chance, a rematch. I loaded the game. The screen faded to black, then bloomed into light. Was this true magic, or another illusion waiting to crack? In this video, I'll take you deep inside this new experience. No filters, no fanboy fluff. Just the raw, moment-to-moment truth of whether Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 2 finally lets you carry the wizarding world in your pocket, or if the ghosts of its past still linger in every corridor. Grab your wand. We're going in. The last time I walked these hallowed halls, Hogwarts Legacy had just burst onto the scene. A long-awaited love letter to Potter fans, draped in spellwork and ambition. And honestly, it was the game I'd always wanted, an open-world adventure that let you live the fantasy, darting through shadowed corridors, dueling with wand in hand, attending classes with peculiar professors. I poured hours into it, enchanted by the combat's surprising depth, captivated by the sheer feel of this living, breathing castle. Yet, even as the magic soared, cracks ran beneath the surface. The main story? Serviceable at best, a predictable yarn about an evil goblin uprising. Enemy variety? Thin. After a while, if I saw one more oversized spider, I was ready to Avada Kedavra my screen. And let's not even start on the bugs, moments where the enchantment shattered with every frozen face or clumsy pop-in. But despite all that, I forgave it, because the heart of Hogwarts shone through. Now, as I sit here with the Switch 2 glowing softly, a question burns. Has this version preserved that magic? Or will I once again be forced to battle through the ghosts of its shortcomings? I'm about to find out. Before I dared step into Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch 2, I forced myself to confront a memory I'd tried to bury. I powered up my old Switch 1 and booted the game. A grim pilgrimage. From the very first load screen, the dread crept back. Loading. Times dragged on like a cursed time turner, minutes slipping through my fingers. As I entered Hogwarts, the nightmare truly began. Every doorway became a gamble. Would it open? Or would I be left staring at an immovable portal while a lonely loading wheel spun endlessly? Textures, a muddy mess. Frame rate, stumbling and gasping for breath, like a wounded hippogriff struggling to take flight. Combat encounters stuttered, often unplayable. The majestic castle I once adored felt trapped beneath a suffocating hex, its magic drained by outdated hardware. And yet, this suffering wasn't just inconvenience. It hurt, because I knew what this world could be. I'd seen its brilliance on stronger platforms. This wasn't the game I loved. It was a broken reflection. As I shut down the Switch 1 with a weary sigh, one thought echoed in my mind. Please, let Switch 2 be better. With hope, and more than a little fear, I reached for the new device. I gripped the Switch 2 just a little tighter than I'd like to admit. Memories of stuttering frames and frozen doors still clung to me, like the remnants of a failed spell. But this was a new device, a promise of second chances. The familiar Hogwarts logo bloomed on screen and I braced myself. Then, something unexpected, smooth transitions, quick loading, no ominous spinning wheel of doom. The castle gates opened wide, welcoming me inside without hesitation. I explored, tentative at first, a wary traveler retracing old steps. But with every corridor I crossed, my caution faded. Textures shimmered with new life, not PS5 levels, of stunning but clean, crisp, and more than respectable on handheld. Frame rate? Stable, consistent. Combat? Fluid with no hitching mid-duel. It felt like playing an Xbox Series S version, not top tier but absolutely serviceable, especially for a mobile device. And that realization hit hard. This was the Hogwarts Legacy experience I had wanted on the go all along. Sure, the edges weren't razor sharp and the fidelity wasn't going to win awards, but here I was, running through the castle, spells flying, without technical dread weighing me down. For the first time in handheld form, it felt like real magic. As I wandered deeper into this newly revitalized Hogwarts, something else became clear. This wasn't just a technical facelift. Hogwarts Legacy had grown. First, the addition I didn't know I needed, photo mode. In a game that thrives on its role-playing fantasy, where you're not just playing a game but living a second life as a witch or wizard, this is a perfect fit. I found myself pausing mid-exploration, capturing shots of my students silhouetted against the stained glass windows of the Great Hall or strolling beneath the drifting candles. Pure wizarding Instagram bait. Then came skill tree resets, a quality of life. Change that, frankly, should have been there from the start. Gone was the fear of locking into a rookie build. Now I could experiment freely, reshaping my magical arsenal on the fly. And one of my favorite changes, the removal of platform-exclusive content. No more feeling punished for not playing on PlayStation. The once exclusive Haunted Hogsmeade mission? Now open to all. A small but meaningful gesture toward unity in this sprawling community of fans. Finally, I tested the new Joy-Con mouse mode. Clever, responsive, though a bit awkward for long sessions. Still, the option impressed me. Another tool in this growing spellbook of features. Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 2 wasn't just surviving, it was evolving. Returning to Hogwarts Legacy in 2025 felt like opening an old, beloved book, one you fear might not feel the same after all this time. But as the game world unfurled before me on the Switch 2, I was reminded why it enchanted me in the first place. Hogwarts Castle remains the crown jewel. The sheer density of detail still stuns, from portraits whispering behind thick oak frames to enchanted staircases that seem to shift with a mind of their own. You could lose hours simply exploring, soaking in the world building, chasing those quiet, magical moments that no quest marker demands. And then there's the combat. Still surprisingly kinetic and satisfying. In lesser hands, wand combat could have felt stiff or gimmicky. But here, you're flinging enemies into the air, chaining spells with weight and rhythm. It's not just flashy, it feels earned. The characters still charm, particularly the eccentric, professors and fellow students who breathe life into the experience. Yet the main story remains serviceable but uninspired. A familiar good versus evil arc that pales next to the rich side content. One gripe persisted louder this time. Enemy variety. Yes, the spiders return in force, perhaps too often. And while overall polish has improved, minor bugs still lurk in the shadows. Yet despite these flaws, the magic endured. Hogwarts Legacy in 2025 still knows how to cast a spell, one that for me was impossible to resist all over again. And so here I sit, a few dozen hours older, wand worn from countless duels, eyes a little heavier, but heart full. Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 2 isn't perfect, nor is it trying to be. Enemy variety still falters, the main story won't. Win literary awards, and yes, technical hiccups haven't been entirely vanquished. But here's the thing. This version captures something the Switch 1 never could. The simple joy of carrying this sprawling, magical world with you. Of losing yourself in its winding halls on a bus ride, or snatching a few enchanted moments before bed. It's not just good, it's playable. and often delightful. For returning fans and first-timers alike, this might just be the most accessible doorway yet into the wizarding world. Now I want to hear from you. What's your most magical moment in Hogwarts Legacy so far? Or, is this the version that will finally tempt you to enroll? Drop your stories in the comments. I'll be reading them over a butterbeer. And as always, stay tuned. More adventures await.